Okay, so I tried to think of a framework for how a lot of the initiatives that we do at Digital Promise kind of are intertwined. So the Venn diagram is just basically trying to merge the three big items that we deal with in curriculum, technology, and I didn't call it assessment. It's just this idea of demonstrating an understanding of what you learned or how you do that. And I think it lends itself, like the crossover between curriculum and technology is OER, and the crossover between demonstrating understanding and curriculum is the competency-based ed, and the notion of badges and micro-credentials really come in with technology and demonstrating understanding. And I center all of this on the notion of choice. And I really believe that choice is overarching in all of these things and is integral to success in all of them. And when you think about that and then you add like habits of mind, I think the new framework for all of it really comes to the notion of a portfolio and how we can capture and validate what kids do in a digital portfolio. And in Mineola, we started with this notion of how do you do that? So we wanted to build curriculum. We wanted to be able to tag it. We wanted to get assignments back and forth to children. Wanted teachers to be able to grade it and give feedback and then somehow keep track of all of this. So we partnered with a company called School for One, and we created this platform. What you see here is how we build content. We build it in the system. Teachers can build their own. We can download. In New York, we have the different modules from the state that we've downloaded. And this is fully customizable to however you want to use it. And the big deal here is you can tag it. So you see that button with the standards. You can tag all the work you assign. And what's nice about it is you can tag each question in an assignment. So I'm just going to let this run, but this is kind of showing you how you can take 5 questions on an exam. You could grade it by standards. So question 1 is this standard. You can check it, and that's one way of grading it, but you also have a rubric embedded in this that will grade each question. And the beauty behind doing it this way is you can go back and sort these 5 questions into 5 different standard buckets to keep track of how kids perform on different standards. We then took it to the notion of, well, how do you provide feedback to kids? I love this.
Okay, Jake, let's look over number 1A.
So this is one of my teachers
32 and 1 side.
Speaking to her student as she helps him understand this math problem. And that's an archive. That's always in the student's portfolio. And if we jump out, this is what our standard grade book looks like. The large number is the last grade a child received. The small number is the number of times that standard was assessed. So if you follow Casey Perez, who's the last line right above the black banner there, and you follow down, let me see, follow down 5NBT2, and you click on that button, you click that little green button, you're gonna get a line graph that looks like this. This is an archive of everything Casey has done in that standard. And you can see in the beginning, she wasn't doing too well, but if you click one of those dots, it'll actually pull up her assignment. And if you want to see how she's doing now, the last assignment, all you do is click that dot, and you have this comparison of her work in the standard. And you have this, every child has this for every assignment that we enter into the system. On the teacher side, when a teacher creates a lesson, it gives them real-time performance in each standard. So when this teacher went to create this lesson and standard MD1 came up, you can see a lot of children aren't doing well. She can grade this and group the kids. So you click a couple of buttons, and now she can pick all the kids that need remediation or have mastered it, and give them additional work. And this is where we jump out to OER and we'll assign Khan Academy, or we also have leveraged other free resources out there that are organized by standard, and we'll send kids very specific work for what they need. So as we progressed with all of this, I became very fearful that all we were going to be is a school district of PDFs, that everything was a flat file and it was just a glorified worksheet all over. So how do we make that come alive? And in the beginning, all of our teachers made show-me's to really teach the parents how to do the work, especially when the Common Core came out and the new math was really new. We made show-me's and walked them through very specific problems. Then we hired a professional videographer and we created our own YouTube page. We call it MC Squared, or Mineola Creative Content. And our teachers make videos. And you can see this ranges in the upper left, that's a dual language video in Spanish. We have geometry, so it's 10th grade math. We had 2 students make a video about how to use Twitter because the board wanted me to do that. I've even made a couple of videos, and this is all free. You can Google this now, and you can leverage all of this stuff. We also have created playlists. So this playlist is high school math. This has over 30 videos on algebra, geometry, and trig. So we get into some more substantial, meaty subjects. And we look for kids, we look for concepts that kids have problems with, and we try to give them another way to look at it. So that's a great resource that we're adding content all the time. I would love for you to go on, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about it. So this progression happened over the last 2-3 years, and School for One really became our warehouse for curriculum and portfolios, academic portfolios. And it really lets us personalize, and our teachers take full ownership of it. And then we had this whole discussion at a Digital Promise conference about what about dispositions? How do we recognize what kids are doing outside of academics? And we really like this notion of badging. So we didn't start out with Kid-Oyo to be our badging platform, but they quickly became our platform to do really everything on. So it started as coding, but it really became a combination of badges, coursework, and challenges. And challenges are really, I think, the new assessment. It's teaching children something, giving them a task. When they complete the task successfully, we give them a badge, and that's really taken hold in our whole concept of assessment. I put another Venn diagram, starting to like these. So how did we reconcile coding, badges, and choice? And we do that in 3 different ways. We have Code Mineola, which is specifically for coding. We have our coding curriculum embedded in the OYO platform. And we created a parallel universe to Code Mineola that does all sorts of coursework and challenges for children. And we're calling this whole concept stackables. It's kind of like micro-credentials, where you can stack badges to form a bigger either unit or credential for teachers, but it's very, we're looking at 3 hours or less. 3 hours for teachers, but homework for kids. So the stackables is very broad in how we apply it. And this is what the platform looks like. This is the wall. You can see this conversation between Stephen Jones and myself. I got stuck on a coding problem over the summer. I actually saw Steve, who's an 8th grader, and I said, I need your help. And I thought he blew me off because he didn't send me an email. Instead, he posted it to the wall. I'm sure partly to embarrass me, but basically say, Nagler, here's what you're having problems with. Just in case you can't figure it out, I gave you a sample to how to figure it out, and he went on his merry way, and of course he was correct, and I was able to fix my website. But children and mentors speak like this all the time on the wall. And you notice the top bar, Code Mineola. I know I'm in a community of coding, and you'll see courses, challenges, and badges. So the first one would be a course. This is Code Mineola, so this is all about coding. Those are all the different languages they can learn on the left-hand side, and they're spiraled courses in all of the different languages. When a child finishes a course, they can take a challenge. You see our latest snow day challenges were added to this. When they complete a challenge, they can ask for a badge. And the badge, simply you cut the URL and send it in, and we grade it and we issue badges all on the platform. The other nice piece about this is everything, this is one-stop shopping. So the platform has its own apps, and it has a maze code, speed code is typing, is in different languages. Your website, I'll get to a second, but is the maze code. This is really for like second and third graders until they get to level 17. You can see this is me. I couldn't get past level 17 and I gave up, and I haven't revisited it yet, but I'm sure soon I will get my other badges for this. And then this is the back end of my HTML website. You build, this is the sandbox. So all of the sandboxes for all the languages are in the platform. So you can do whatever you want in here. And when you hit the preview button, you get the actual web page. And all of it is very simple to use on the platform. This is the parallel universe called Mineola School District, for want of a better name. But you'll notice this is a little different. On the left, the badges are, that's my mission statement, the district mission statement. So we tag things to the district mission statement. And these are much different challenges. And we're currently in our February break, so you see different schools came in and created badges for children to do over the break. And I've been watching this. The kids have been very active in getting those badges. And then specifically for Habits of Mind, here are some of the Habits of Mind badges that we issue. We tag it to our mission of exhibit strength and character. And if you would drill into one of these, you would see a description of the badge and then how many students earn the badge and what grade level they're in. So that kind of, and then the last community we just started as the Stackable Community, and this is going to be for our PD. And we're having teachers design the PD and challenges associated with the PD so we can issue badges to teachers. So what we're currently working on is creation of the stackables, and maybe some accompanying videos with the stackables, and how children would stack badges to either fulfill a unit or competency-based ed thing, or teachers to get credits and then submit the credits for salary. We want to merge the academic side of the School for One and the badge side. So we're going to do that through web-based portfolios. So next year we're going to be teaching HTML in the 5th grade and require every student, probably in the 5th and 6th grade, to make a web page where they can put links to their academic work, their work outside of school, or anything they want to brag about, as well as their badges. And where I think is, and I love for opportunities to partner, I love this notion of OER repository of choice, where you can create these mini lessons and let children pick them, and things that we don't typically cover in curriculum. I'm presently making one on stamp collecting, is a hobby of mine, so I'm making a little course on that, and we'll make a badge for that. And for teachers, it's just practical applications on different ways to assess student knowledge. And again, these are like, I call them pajama PD, where it's 3 hours and a couple of nights. It's easy to learn, and it's easy to see evidence of it implemented. And that's it. That's what I have.
Thank you. So in the document, if folks wanted to write questions, or we can just open this up now to a 5-minute Q&A or so. Bart, I saw that you wrote a question in the in the chat box. I don't know if you could have seen that.
The first part of that. Okay, Mike, the first part of that, when you did that, so does the School for One, that's the teacher's grade book, right?
The first image I had up was the grade book. There's 2 grade books.
Yeah.
One's a standard grade book,
Gotcha.
and one's a traditional.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I thought.
And Mike, can you hear me? This is Eric
Yeah,
Anderson.
yes, I can hear you, Eric.
Yeah, sorry, I got on about 10 minutes late. And maybe you covered this, but if you can just elaborate for me. I saw that you were doing this for some math courses that seem to be at the high school level, but is the majority of this taking place at what grade levels?
The videos span 3rd grade to trigonometry, so 11th grade.
Okay.
We have a lot of resources. We have English video, social studies. So we're trying to get teacher buy-in across subjects across the district.
And how are you getting that teacher buy-in, if you don't mind?
Well, we hired the videographer, and he lives at the high school. So he will meet with teachers to write scripts and brainstorm ideas with them. A lot of times, he's very good at getting the concept out in front before the content. So children, he engages the kids and helps them understand it differently than the teacher traditionally teaches it. So it works out nicely. And then we cover them for however many hours they need. They go to the high school and film it.
Great.
The nice thing about the videos is we can upload it into that School for One, and we can send that out and either flip the classroom or give it as homework. And there's a program called Ed Puzzle that you could actually ask questions, embed them in the video. So a lot of the videos.
That is great. Yeah.
Yeah, the videos will have a pause, and it won't continue until the teacher, until the student responds.
Yeah, that is a great application. Have you been using that in a lot of these throughout this implementation, the Ed Puzzle piece?
Ed Puzzle is basically for the primary grades, but yes, there is in the primary grades. I don't think they create a video without Ed Puzzle.
Okay. I've seen it at the high school level for specifically world language. But that's more for language acquisition and answering questions based on videos in the target language, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit different, but.
I have a question. So for this opportunities to partner section, when you said you would love to share these stackables for students and teachers, how could we do that as a working group? How could we share? What should we do next if we wanted to partner?
I'm sure the company will allow us to build it in the platform, but if we don't want to build it in the platform, we can build it outside the platform and load them up. I'm willing to share anything we create. So whatever mechanism works best for that, I'm open to.
That's great.
Mike, this is Amy. I was wondering, what is it like the day in the life of a elementary school student that they're on the platform? What are they doing with the platform?
It depends on what teacher they have. A lot of the very K1 teachers love the badges. You know, it's kind of like Elizabeth Forward does their entire kindergarten. They don't have report cards anymore. They issue badges. I give a shout out to my friend Bart and Todd over there. And we're ready to steal that. So we see that
We're ready to give it.
the primary grades really love the badge concept as a method of assessment. So some of our teachers will create challenges like homework assignments on the platform. All of the children are exposed in the library. That's the our future ready librarians are really teaching the coding side, K4, and the 5th grade will transition next year to the HTML with a math teacher.
That's awesome.
So I don't know that
So,
touches upon the question. It kind
so
of
do
depends.
so the question, like, would a child typically, the system is designed that they log in, or it's just more for teachers to push out?
No. Every student in the district knows that they have a portfolio and they can look at their work
Okay.
by standard.
Okay.
And we do a lot of
And
parent outreach about that as well.
And the kids, it's pretty easy. I mean, the dashboards and the analytics were amazing. But the kids, the students, actually, they can upload their documents, and that's pretty user friendly for them.
Yes, they have a separate class.
Oh, awesome.
Kids are never my problem. They figure it out fast.
Okay, got it. That's perfect. That's a perfect answer.
Yeah, the other nice thing,
They can do anything.
The other nice thing, especially for the early grades, is children can do everything with pen and paper, and you can take a picture of it,
Mhm.
and the image will upload into the platform. So you can still do a lot of work off of the device and still get it in the system.
Oh, that's great. Great work. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Are there any more questions?
This is very impressive, Michael.
Thank you, Bob.
Excellent job.
Well, thank you, Mike, for facilitating the first of 3 of these assessment webinars leading up to the league meeting. The next webinar will be March 22nd with Eric Tucker from Brooklyn Lab Schools, who's going to talk a little bit about the program they're using there. I'll follow up with a recording of this webinar as well as a blog post summarizing it, so please share widely. And I'll also send out a survey so we can see if this format has been helpful to you all. So if there's no more questions, just thank you so much, Mike, for your time and putting this together, and really excited to share it more broadly.
My pleasure. Thank you.